Well, hello, and welcome to After the Show. I'm your host, Crystal Vilkaitis. And if you're watching this, you are seeing me in a new location. I'm in my hotel room in Palm Springs, and we are here for Party First Affiliates. I'm speaking to party stores, and we are also doing one-to-one meetings. Yesterday, we had over 40 one-to-one meetings, and today we have over 40 one-to-one meetings. So I'm squeezing in this episode before I jump into those. And it's just been a really great week and a good start to the new year. So I hope that you are also having a good start to the new year. Okay, did you listen to Tanner and Erica's episode? If you didn't, you need to go back. And I just want to say, towards the end of the episode, Tanner says that social media is made for introverts. And so if you are introverted, or you're nervous to be on camera, or shy, or just feel really uncomfortable being on camera, doing live selling, live streams, doing videos, make sure you go back and listen to Tanner's episode because I love his mindset around it and I love how he kind of approaches that. So, but that's not my big takeaway for today. My big takeaway is Tanner and Erica, when we were talking about them working together as husband and wife in the store and just doing business and life together, they said that before they do their live streams, because they do a lot of live selling, if they've had a really busy day and they haven't connected yet, they'll actually postpone their live selling. They'll go across the street to the coffee shop and connect in for 20 minutes, and then they'll go do their live stream. And they said for them, that is just really important for them to be connected, to not be rushing. When they take that time, they are able to serve their customers who are watching the live selling way better. And I just wanted to explore this a little bit more because as small business owners and as retailers, I mean, you guys, we are really, really busy. I completely understand. I am in a season of my business right now that I don't think I've ever been this busy in my life. And it's all really positive, amazing things. And it's super exciting. And it's also very busy. And whether it's a really good busy or it's a really challenging busy, it can be really hard to show up on social. And it can be really hard to just even show up to the store and be the leader and be what you need to be for your team. And it can be hard to show up for your customers and be who you need to be for your customers. And I loved the idea that Tanner and Erica said, where they will just take that 20 minutes and you know what? They'll postpone. It's on their schedule. And I highly doubt that they're constantly doing different times all the time. And it's really hard to catch their live sales. It's just in those moments where we are really like we're struggling, we're having a really busy day. If we need that break before we are then communicating to our customers or our team or have to be on camera, we take the break. We've got to put ourselves first in that scenario because it will allow you to show up way better for your customers than you could have if you're just like, well, I got to do this now and I got to do that now and I'm on to the next. And then it's almost like you're just this tornado that comes onto the screen and that can be felt through the screen. That could turn people off. That could feel off from who you naturally are. And like, that's part of your brand, like your personal brand of how you are and how you do business. And if you need a moment before you hit record or go into a meeting, then take the moment, give yourself that time. And you might need literally 2 minutes to just sit there, and you might need a couple minutes to connect in, but you might need the 20 minutes like they do. You might need to physically leave the building like they do, go to the coffee shop and connect in with yourself. And I think that you can bring so much more to those videos, to the meeting, to whatever you're trying to tackle. Yesterday I sat with somebody who we've worked with for a long time, and she's going through some really heavy things in her life personally. And, she wrote a pretty vulnerable post on our Facebook page a couple of months ago, just saying like, man, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to post. I'm struggling to put myself out there. Life's been pretty heavy. And I told her, I'm so happy that and proud that you had the courage to put yourself out there and say that and then get advice. And like, man, my team gave her a lot of good advice and I showed up and we really rallied and she She showed up for herself. She did the hard things. But when we were talking yesterday, we were just saying like, it is when life is so heavy, like, how do you even get out of bed? Like, and that's a challenge of a business owner, especially if you don't have the best team in place or the systems in place to really support you in those times of like deeper challenges. Like maybe we can take the pause, collect ourselves, ground ourselves, and then show up. But there are times in our lives where it's deeper than that. And we need more of that break. We need the day off. We're just not going to hit record today. And I also want to give you permission for that. If you are experiencing anything like that, sometimes it is too heavy and we just, again, have to put ourselves first. Because if you don't take that moment of whatever it is that you're going through to feel the frustration or the anger or the grief, to heal, whatever that looks like for you, it's just going to be pulled through and get worse and worse and worse. And I have a friend who's an entrepreneur who ended up in the hospital because she pushed herself too much and it hit her out of nowhere. Like, that is kind of an extreme scenario, but I think it's just really important for us to check in with ourselves and identify, do I need a quick break before I'm going to create this content, before I'm going to connect with my customers? Sometimes it's like go time no matter what. You're doing an event in your store and it's happening at 6 p.m. and right now it's 5 p.m. and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel crazy right now. Like so much is happening. Try to find 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Like just say, hey team, I got to go sit out in the car for a moment. I'll be right back, And then the final thing I'll say with this is that, because I find this for myself is, well, I'll just say, take the moment if you need it, take the day, the week, like support yourself. And I just want to wrap up this thought actually before I move on to the next thing, which is this is the importance of teams and systems. Like we really want to set these things up because we never know when life's going to get heavy and when it's such a challenge for us to just keep pushing through. And you don't want your business to then be in a decline because you are in a decline and amplify this hardship that you're going through. So, really, I think it's such a great time of year. I'm filming this in January to really focus on like, is my team, like if something happened to me, can my team, can they do this? If I need these breaks, like how am I going to support myself? What works for me? Really identify that. That way, when you're in the moment, you know exactly what to do because it's so hard to know how to support ourselves when we're in the moment. So get those things figured out. Take the break, however, quick or long that looks like for you. And then the thing I was going to say finally is when I am struggling, not like with deep tragedy, but just like life feels heavy or things are really crazy or whatever. And I do take the break and then I do hit film. I do the podcast or I do the webinar or I do the video or I jump on a call or whatever that looks like. In my world, what often happens is that thing actually makes me feel better. By the time I'm done, I'm like, oh man, I actually kind of feel like a high. I feel better. And I think that we just can have this like, oh, this dread. The hardest part of anything really is just getting started. And so sometimes we can have dread. And if it's a hard period in our life right now, then it's even harder. But when we push through or just kind of, do it anyways and show up, you often do feel better. So keep that in mind too, that, you know what, I might feel great after this. And if you think about how you're going to feel after you're done, it's going to be easier for you to just do the thing, right? To do the live, to create the content, to talk to the team, like whatever it is that you're trying to do, it will be easier. And you'll often find this high and energy from it being done and from doing the thing. So just keep that in mind. That was what I felt pulled to talk about today from Tanner and Erica's episode. And like we mentioned, Tanner is speaking at Evolve. And what you learn from Tanner could be worth the price of admission. And if you're listening to this in January of 2025, the tickets are going up by $1,000 on February 1st. Fully worth the value. The tickets full price are going to be $1,997 starting February 1st for standard, and then VIPs a couple hundred more. Fully worth the price. But if you want to save $1,000, you got to get your ticket in January. Now's the time if you want to save some money. You could put that money towards your travel. What I'm teaching you with Unreasonable Hospitality, I recently just did this framework here in Palm Springs. That alone is worth the price of admission. That alone, you're getting a framework, a workbook to go with this. It's going to change your business. I can guarantee it. If you implement what you learn from Evolve, game changing, next level business. I can guarantee it. So I hope to see you at Evolve. Also, Tanner and Erica are participating in the conference. A lot of my speakers are actually full in the conference. You have access to these incredible people and access to me too. So I can't wait to see you. Evolve's happening April 4th and 5th. Get your ticket at crystalmediaco.com/evolve. Use the code ROOTED, ROOTED, to save $200. So you could save $200 and lock in this early bird pricing right now. Now is the time. Get your ticket, take action, give yourself a moment, give yourself some grace, be there for yourself. You got this. And I am rooting for your success. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye. Okay, I have exciting news to share. The Rooted in Retail Mastermind is launching this January. It's your chance to connect deeper with me, the retail pros from the show, and an incredible community of resilient retailers, both online and in person, with several meetups throughout the year. Get on the waitlist at rootedinretail.com/waitlist. And don't just listen to the show, be a part of the magic and grow your store with us. I hope to see you there.